The same struggle went on with the Japanese. The United States saying what? Throw your farmers out of this. The same struggle went on with the Japanese. We have cheaper rights. The United States saying, and the Japanese saying, but we value our farmers and we value their being employed. What difference does it make? We're talking about a free trade system here. And if people are thrown out of business, so be it. And so these are the things that are occurring behind so-called GATT agreements, behind NAFTA agreements, and other agreements. And it is time, African ladies and gentlemen, that you begin to study these issues simply because they are talks between white men and so forth and Asian men, and simply because the terms may not be readily familiar does not mean that they have nothing to do with you. They have everything to do with you. You must recognize that with these so-called agreements, Africa and African people are being isolated out of the world markets. For instance, in this GATT agreement, the people who run the textile industries in South Carolina and in North Carolina, the industries where some of your relatives, I'm sure, may be employed, an industry that employs a large number of African Americans. These people who ran those industries had to struggle with the American negotiators to protect those textile mills for another 10 years. But after 10 years, the agreement is that the textiles from China and other parts of the world will be permitted a free-flowing market in America, and therefore the American textile industry will probably disappear to be around no longer. And that means the African Americans and other people who are employed in those industries will be unemployed. So the issue then won't be so much our oppression and overt racist oppression, but our absolute uselessness in an automated society, in a global economic system. In fact, the issue now has moved to a degree beyond racism, to a degree having to deal with the economic structuring of the world and of the society. He goes on to say, increasingly, he is not so much economically exploited as he is irrelevant. The tremendous historical change is taking place in these terms. He is not needed. He is not so much oppressed as unwanted, not so much unwanted as unnecessary, not so much abused as ignored. The dominant whites no longer need to exploit the Black minority. As automation proceeds, it will be easier for the former to disregard the latter. In short, white America, by a more perfect application of mechanization and a vigorous reliance upon automation, disposes of the Negro. Consequently, the Negro transforms from an exploited labor force into an outcast. The Negro's anguish does not rise only out of brutalities of past oppression. The anxiety stems more than ever before out of being discarded as a waste product of technological production. This is the world that we are facing.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. I think Cassidra will be on here in a second. So shouts out to Jermaine Thompson in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. My bad, ain't seen. My bad. You know, I'll send you the one next time. I got you. Shouts out to Matron in the building. Appreciate you coming through, Matron. Always, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Matron channel and listen to her readings. You know, y'all definitely support what she doing and the information that she bringing, because it's class. You know, y'all gonna learn if you just go pay attention to it. You know, so Shouts out, and then shouts out to Raw in the building. All right, so and I'm gonna just we waiting for Cassidra to come on here before we go in, but it's definitely gonna be an interesting topic. So hold on, let me call her real quick. I'm gonna call her so she can come on. Okay, I see. She says she here. I got her. All right. Yeah, well, my fault. My bad. What's going on, Cassidra? How you doing? I know she messed up. Yeah, I'm on time today. I guess I threw everybody off. I was on time today. I ain't running late or nothing like that. What's going on, Cassidra?
You did good. I'm the one that's running behind. And then my computer wouldn't connect. It was crazy, but yeah, I'm here. It's fine. How was your day?
Oh, it was good. Any day, like you say, any day.
It's a great day, I'll tell you. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
It's some crazy stuff going on, ain't it?
Yeah.
This has been a crazy month.
Yeah, already.
How's everybody doing in the chat?
Yeah. Shouts out to Raw in the building. Appreciate you coming through, Raw, and all of y'all. So now, Cassidra, I was waiting for you to come on here because we do have to have a discussion about, mental health today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna act like I'm no better than anybody else. Like, we Black people in America, we got problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but and before we get into that, I want to do the positive stuff, I guess, first. Well, if you can call it that. But I saw this on the thing. I don't know if somebody sent it to me. Maybe you were showing it. I don't know.
I don't know, what is it?
It's a radio, right? So you can communicate without limits.
Oh wow! Okay, I like that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So I need that. Where's that at? Oh, I need that. Send me that.
Talking to a person in Groves, Texas. He bought these radios and gave me one for emergency use while I was out here working. And the whole time I've been out here, I haven't been able to use my phone. But Rapid Radio, you're winners.
Wow.
So I don't know how true this one is. I never heard of this one until now. But it say Rapid Radios.
Wow, I like that. I'm gonna have to get one just to try it. I think that'll be great for families. Say, for instance, if you were in one spot and your kids are in another spot, you got to be able to contact each other. And why not try it now instead of waiting until you need it to get it? That's not bad. 60% off. I wouldn't mind getting one of them.
Yeah.
I got the walkie-talkies now, but you have, with walkie-talkies, you have to be in a certain amount. And I have one child one place, another one someplace else. So I need like 3 of those.
Yeah. And we talked about the ham radio, but
yes.
And I'm not no expert on it, and I don't have one.
I got that too. One of them crank ones. I got one of them. Yeah.
You got one?
All that. Yeah, I do. I bought a whole emergency kit. It had the radio in it. It had everything. I think I paid like probably maybe $40 for the whole kit. I got the medical supplies. I got like a can opener. It has everything in it. Everything. And I think maybe about $40-$50. It wasn't that much. Yeah. And I think we all need that. You never know what's coming, but you want to be ready. You don't want to sit up there and need it and be like, oh my God, I wish I had got it. Better to have it than not, Yeah,
you might need to send me that one because I might need to get one for real.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I think this was another positive thing before we get into it. Oh yeah, okay. My brother sent me this. My brother Anthony. Okay, so the Black-owned directory app.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
I got Black girl a little bit too close to the sun. I created an app. I saw somebody in the comments saying that they're looking for like a Black Amazon. Sister, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. This ain't Amazon. It's the now. I can show y'all better than I can tell you.
Oh
Come
my
on
goodness.
the app. There are over 3,000 Black-owned brands listed in almost every single category you can think of. And I mean every category. Skincare, hair care, nail care, feminine care, hotels and villas, hairstylists, restaurants, grocery stores, luxury wear, handbags, wedding, home and kitchen, babies and kids, swimwear, lingerie, plus size clothing. Y'all, the list goes on. We are 40 and counting. But since we were on the topic of grocery stores and convenience stores, let me show y'all what that section looks like. So under services nearby you, click on grocery stores. It will direct you to a page where you see all the Black-owned grocery stores in the United States of America. At the moment, we have 26 Black-owned grocery stores. On here, you have the option to filter by state and by the type of grocery store that you're looking for. You don't even have to put the address in. Most of these stores actually have online stores, so you do not have to visit in person. They will ship the products to you. Our shoppers and clients can actually rate their experience on this app as well. We want to ensure professionalism, customer satisfaction, and to give constructive feedback to these services. You can also add it as an app on your phone. I think I got a little bit too close to the sun. I created an app. I saw somebody in the comments saying that they're looking for like a Black Amazon.
All right, so yeah, I think it's Black
What's the name of it?
Black Now.
Black Now?
Yeah, like Black and like the Nile River.
Oh, okay. Okay. .com. Was that .co?
Yeah, it said .co right here. This the Instagram right here.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go up there and check it out.
Yeah,
I like that. Yes, we need this stuff. I'm telling you, we need stuff like this. This is a plus for us. So now y'all can stop using Amazon, but I guarantee you people still using Amazon.
All right. And so, shouts out to my brother Anthony for sending this one to me. Okay. Now we're gonna get a little bit more into the topic, I want to play this or no. I don't know.
And ain't nobody ever been put on this earth that everybody liked. They done killed Martin Luther King, and the only thing he kept singing was "We shall overcome in love and peace." Killed him, wiped him out. Killed Malcolm, and some cat hired 3 black cats to wipe out the man who was the martyr of our time. And when they killed him, he had a half a church full of people. It wasn't like it was packed and jammed. And he says it himself, if you read his works, that there's a whole bunch of that don't like me. Black folks like me, but not the which is true. And 3 knocked him off, paid by the white establishment. That's my feeling. It ain't no...
Right, so you heard that as always a brother there. So I want to play just a little bit of this, Cassandra.
That are coming
now, it's my guess that you're going to say what I had said. I'm not even going to tell you what I said, but I think you're going to cut them off right when I cut them off and say what I said.
The Donald Trump presidency, we will finally evict all of these illegal aliens that are coming here and stealing jobs from Americans. If you break into my house, should I just accept you because you washed my dishes and made my beds? I say no. I say you need to go back and come back in the right way.
So is that what the Indians should have told white Americans?
Absolutely. Ask Coach Chiefs if border control is important.
Because the original illegal alien are European white folk in America.
Agreed.
So should the Indians stand up today and say deport all white folks back to Europe?
Well, should we learn something from their mistake? Because we are here now.
Or should you learn something from their compassion? People, an opportunity like was given to you and your ancestors. Learn from their compassion. That's what you should learn from.
Now, you heard this white dude say we should learn from their mistake about letting these crackers in here and trying to be friends with them. And he's still saying we should learn from their compassion. My brother Anthony sent me this one too, but you gotta know I was gonna say he's talking about some should we learn from their compassion? Like, no, bro, we're gonna end up killed like they was, like Martin Luther King and the Indians and whoever else that showed them fools compassion, man.
Like was given to you and your ancestors. Learn from their compassion. That's what you should learn from.
I say learn from their mistakes. Ask Geronimo if taking care of your borders is important. We need to do that now.
And I agree with Cochise, Geronimo, and Sitting Bull. Letting in the white man was the worst mistake that the Indians ever could have made. I agree with you. That was one of the greatest mistakes. Even right there in South Africa, they got a similar problem.
So they didn't let in white dudes everywhere, didn't it?
Worst thing they could have did. And worst thing we could have did was got together with them devils. We gave up our power to go to be with them. You gave up everything your ancestors gave us to go and be with them. And that's the worst thing that the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Now, and this is what I want to, you saying that, and my brother said it's Trayvon Martin Day.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, I want to show you this right now. It's something called Drapetomania. Right? You ever heard of that, Cassidra? So it's like a mental illness, right? So get this, right? If you was a black person, right, that ran away from slavery, or you like rebelled in any way, they said that you was mentally ill, right? And it's called Drapetomania. You are mentally ill for trying to escape slavery. Right now, today, I don't know if we the ones that got Drapetomania, that we mentally ill, or they got Drapetomania, like with all the stuff that they anyway. I ain't gonna say nothing like that. But I'm gonna just play this. Like, all right, so Drapetomania. I don't know which one of us got it.
In the local newspapers describing us, and they had a disease. How are the folks gonna why are they running away? We treating them so good. Why are they running away? We doing everything we can for them. Why are they running away? And they came up with a disease of running away. Their scientists, lackeys, came up with a disease of running away called Drapetomania. The disease of running away. The insidious thing about the disease is it takes agency from us. That's and what I mean by that is, so supposedly, going by their explanation, when we ran away on the Underground Railroad, it's because we were ill. We popped up with a virus or something. So
now, Cassidra, I don't know if we the ones that got Drapetomania. Like we said, we ain't gonna talk about no voting and all that stuff.
I think that's what we get right there, huh? Drapetomania. We tired of their abuse, huh? So when you run away because you're tired of their abuse, then you got a disease. That is just, is that logical thinking? That's just something wrong with their thinking.
Well, something where else
with them?
Well, I'm saying, where else was it better in the world than under some white people? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, these people are. I'm gonna see if they think a couple more years. Let's see if they, think that when they get the same, because they get ready. And Trump getting ready to send them to Guantanamo Bay or something. A bunch of them down there. Let's see if they feel the same way when they get down there in them jails and can't get out. Because they said they're going to go into captivity too, didn't it? Isn't that what some of the Israelites say, that they're going into captivity in Joel 3? That just what they did to us going to happen to them and their children. Isn't that what they're doing now to them? Okay. They're sending them back to their land. I mean, we have to understand what's really going on here. So we can call it whatever, but yeah. Let's see if they feel the same way. Because they're getting ready to get what we got. And it's happening now.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Oh, yeah. I told you, Cassidra, the Mexicans at my job, right? They was like, yo, we going on strike. We ain't going to work for like a day.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing happened. Like, everything was smooth as hell. Like, now I can see how lazy y'all are.
Are you serious? Everything was smooth when they were going?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, but
you know what? How long they going to be out like that? They can only one day. Go ahead, be out one day. And then what I would have did, I would have had me some substitutes, and I'd have called the little the little staff place, the staff people, and I'd have got some staff on in there, and I'd have kept them little staffs away. They'd have come back, they wouldn't have no job. Seriously, you got to show these people sometime. You know what I'm saying? Because they do that all the time. They'll get together because somebody, they did that last time when Florida got rid of them strawberry pickers. I told Florida, y'all better keep them strawberry pickers because you won't eat another strawberry. Want me to get out there? That won't be a delicacy. Strawberry, blueberries, and oranges. None of them would be picked. And black folk better not get out there in them damn fields either. Let them pick. Let them send their children out there. You want a strawberry? Send your daughter out there and pick it. They always do that. Want to come together, okay, let them be off then. Go ahead and be off. And I'd have went to them staff people. I'd have said, okay, send me over 100 people tomorrow. I sure would have.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to, you got to act the fool with them.
Yeah. All right, yeah, let me
we were ill. We popped up with a virus or something.
That's crazy.
We're not doing it because we want to. We're not doing it because we thought that we were sick of injustice.
That is crazy.
There's something wrong with us. Something wrong with us. We diagnosed in the Time magazine of slavery called DeVoe's Review. And it says an article called Diseases and Peculiarities of Negroes. And so Drapetomania is diagnosed by a man named Dr. Samuel Cartwright. He came up with another fake disease, Diaesthesia Ethiopica, or hebatude of the mind. And that made us not want to work. Yeah. Might make us break tools, harm animals. Hebatude of the mind, Hebetude, hebatude of the mind. So not the whippings, not rape, not incest, not horrible barbarous treatment. Oh, no. He ran away because something wrong with him, not because of the way.
Something wrong with him.
That's crazy.
And so Drapetomania, it's again, the DeVoe's Review, Diseases and Peculiarities of Negroes.
Wow.
That's how it listed it again, by trying to steal our ability to distinguish freedom from slavery.
Ain't that something?
We cannot make a conscious decision. Of course,
So apparently we are suffering from drapetomania in this modern day drapetomania.
Wow.
I guess I'll play a little bit of her talking
But with
about
prevention and access to treatment. In 1851, a physician by the name of Samuel Cartwright delivered a paper before the Medical Association of Louisiana in which he spoke of his observation of a disease among Blacks enslaved in America. He called the disease Drapetomania, a disorder which causes slaves to run away. According to Dr. Cartwright, Black slaves should be treated like children with care, kindness, attention, and humanity to prevent and cure them from running away. However, if any are inclined to raise their heads to a level with their master or overseer, humanity and their own good require that they should be punished until they fall into that submissive state, which is what was intended for them to occupy.
So you get out of line, Cassidra, you know what they're going to have to do. You know what I'm saying?
While there was certainly contemporary criticism
in front of this all-white crowd,
views,
by the way,
the fact remained that here was a physician who postulated the existence of a disorder that through the lenses of the 21st century seems peculiar at best, and a whole lot of other clients were slaveholders in the institution of slavery. And the institution had a problem that he believed he could address. That was the culture of slavery and the context of Cartwright's work. At about the time that Cartwright was addressing the diseases and peculiarities of the Negro race, Great Britain was beginning
All right, that's enough of this. But so you see, like, the whole point is if you're not falling in line with what needs to be, you know, like with the scare, they're gonna punish you and all of this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But if you got this mentality of where you want to be free, it's a mental illness. It's considered a mental illness, you know? And that's why people look at us like, you know, we crazy. But I want to say, even when I talk about this, you know why I don't judge so much, and I used to say I'm not as hard on the coon, is because like we all have some form of mental illness living in society. Like I have mulatto, mixed race people that I know. Now we're gonna disagree about stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of proves that, you know, but this whole society got everybody mixed up. Like I have to go to sleep to get up to go to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to call it what it is, which is like slavery, you know? And the truth is, like, you got to find a way to get up out of there. And like, you could be like Oni and Cassidra and like move back. You can create your own empire, your own business, but no matter what you do, unless you have your own infrastructure, you are subject to somebody else's punishments. And if you get out of line with those punishments, then they're going to punish you, you know. But you want to say something, Cassidra?
So what kind of illness do white people have? Are we the only ones with mental illness? What do they have?
They psychopaths.
You know, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the South Africans, how they took their land, right? They took black folks' land. Now they come up with a law, right, to make the wrongs right. And Trump had the nerves to try to get in it. But South Africa said, we're not thinking about what you're talking about because we're getting ready to take the land back from the people who have stolen the land from former black people, right? So now these white folk, these crackers mad and they whine and talk about, oh, they doing this, that, and the other to us because the government told them, hey, if you can show where you took this land, you know, where you bought the land honestly and you didn't have any shenanigans mixed to it, you know, with it, then we'll let you keep it. But if you can't prove that you got this land honestly, then you got to give it back without any money connected to it. You won't get paid anything, right? So these crackers mad because they know half of them stole that land from somebody else. Their ancestors stole that land when they got there. So they don't have any paperwork saying that they got it honestly. So that's why they crying so loud to Trump, talking about they're killing us and they're doing this, that, and the other. And Trump went and put sanctions on them. And the president down there said, look, you haven't you misunderstanding. You trying to put your hands in something you ain't got nothing to do with. So they're like, we don't care. We're going to continue doing what we're doing because this is how we're supposed to be doing it. But my thing is, they are always whining when they're being mistreated, right? You would think the end of the world is coming. You know, you want us to, and then they said, well, we want you to pay us for land, this land. No, why would we pay you for land that you stole? That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm going to pay a thief that came into my house and stole my stuff. I'm going to pay him when I come and get it back. How much sense? So there is something honestly wrong with their thinking. I don't know what it is, but they think totally different than anybody else on this earth. We think totally different. There's nothing in us that's in them. You know what I'm saying? We don't even serve the same God. I keep telling people that these people are demonically inclined and they are Satan's seeds. And that's why they think the way they think. They think unlike anybody else on earth. Nobody thinks like them. Just, you know, it's crazy. I rest my mind. These people crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But the problem is, though,
right? They're aliens. They're demons.
they're aliens. Yeah.
These people are demons. These are the fallen seeds. Y'all better read the book of Enoch. These people are the fallen seeds. That's their seeds. Them angels fell down to earth. That's them. That's their seeds right there. We ought to know it by the way they act and think.
Yeah, and
steal and destroy. Only one attributes I know comes kill, steal, and destroy, and that's all they do.
Yeah, and you know, but the problem though is like, was black people being up under them, we start to pick up many characteristics and similar traits as them, and to the point of like, you know, they used to call it accepting the ways of the Englishman. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, yo, if a servant did this and did that, like accepted Christianity and, you know, all of these things and accepted the ways of the Englishman, meaning you stop talking your language and you speak English, you follow, you know what I'm saying, their religion and all of that stuff, then you could be accepted, but then of course you wasn't accepted. But and the problem comes to like our mentality where we start adopting their culture, because it's just like it's sick, because going into their society or going to their schools, sending our children to their schools, like you have, which is the most dangerous species in the universe, the white bitches teaching them everything anti them and everything pro whatever they are, you know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of stuff that comes, because I wish I could have found like that. Yo, I don't know if y'all remember in like 2020, it's like a Trump dude. He had adopted a little black boy, had the little black boy with the MAGA hat on and all this stuff, saying something crazy. And I was like, yo, you see where these little coons grew up from, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to call, because he wasn't a coon yet, but he probably would have.
Oh, he probably will be.
All right. And that's no disrespect. It sounds messed up when you say it like that, but
I mean, you know, come on, he will be. Let's be honest.
All right. But you know, that mentality, I understand, because that is the American system, is to manufacture inwards, you know what I'm saying, is to create that, you know, and to create slaves of their system to keep working. Right. So we'll give you so the difference between you and some slaves got paid is like you may make $20 an hour now, you know what I'm saying? And you can quit if you want to, but you're going to starve to death, you know what I'm saying? But that's the difference, you know, and I'm not trying to make light of it, and they can't put their hands on you. Well, I guess they can if they call the police or something like that, but it's a whole different process. But it's a process that doesn't come out of nowhere, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? It's been developed and cultivated for generations to produce Black people who are self-hating, you know, and then you have brothers like this, which we will talk about.
So I don't say this lightly. This diary is one of the most graphic, disturbing things that I've ever read. Not the manifesto, the diary. Manifesto is about 52 pages. Diary is about 288. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to make sure one thing is clear. This is not about trying to glorify Solomon Henderson in any way, shape, or form. This is about understanding and transparency. That said, I'm only sharing some of his writings. This diary included things like bomb making instructions. So I think we can all understand why I'm not showing this thing in its entirety.
But I actually don't. We actually should be having stuff with bomb making instructions to each other, like for protection. All right, you know, to protect yourself. You know, it's like set up a perimeter around your house or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what you could say. You know, but I don't think that that's a bad thing to know how to use different things as, you know, science, you know what I'm saying? Let's just call it science, you know what I'm saying? We experiment with different elements, create and see what we can make, you know?
Henderson documented this attack. He showed photos of himself in the bathroom with this gun. He shared video of himself in school with this same gun in his backpack. All of that happened just moments before the attack that hurt one student and killed 16-year-old Diana Escalante, someone who he did not know. I'm going to say that one more time because I think there's been some confusion over this issue.
Wait, what? That's the person he killed?
Is it the person? I thought she was Black.
Me too. I don't know.
Huh. I thought she was Black. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I never saw the Black girl's face, so I don't know if she was Black or not. But wow, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Someone who he did not know. I'm going to say that one more time because I think there's been some confusion over this issue. Solomon did not know Diana. Diana's family confirmed as much when they told us that they never heard of.
Said he killed the Mexican.
Yeah, I guess he did, huh? Okay. Well, what sense did that make? He didn't like Black people. So he went and killed a Mexican. Well, okay, I'm just saying.
Okay, right, okay.
I mean, she took one for the team, huh?
Listen, I would say this, right? If you hate all Black people or other groups of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, go to them first and then bang it on yourself before you come to a Black person. You know what I'm saying? Because you're Black. If you're Black, you can start with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
But guess what?
Black person.
Exactly. But guess what? They still never showed his parents. Why didn't they ever show his parents?
Yeah, I think he about to say something about it.
Okay, let's see.
Solomon before any of this. They believe that Diana just happened to be in the cafeteria when Solomon opened fire. I was hoping to get some answers from this 288-page diary. And while I did get some, I hope you understand that we're talking about a 17-year-old Black student who hated being Black so much so that he found a sense of community and belonging with white supremacists online. He wrote things like, "I wish I was white," and self-hating N-word award goes to with a picture of his eyes. There are a lot of questions, and many of you have asked these questions because it just
doesn't make sense. I thought I'd seen the worst, having read the Covenant School Shooters writings. The difference with Solomon's writings, they're not just words on paper. His first diary entry begins back in October. And
consider, I want to say this one thing, right? Because this is young brother that come on here all the time, and and like he would be like, I wouldn't say he personally, but that mentality that he has, and that's why I try to be patient with them or whatever and let him come on when he does. But because he talks about nothing but like, oh, I want to hurt myself and all this type of stuff. You could tell he's like hurting, but he will sit there and tell you he's not black, but he has a picture of himself on here, and he's like it looked like he's straight like from Africa or something. You know what I'm saying? And like that, but his mentality is something of like this young brother, because like every time he come on, he be like saying like, oh yeah, F black women and black people, and I'm gonna do this and do that, you know what I'm saying, like type of mentality. But that's why I still try to like talk to him, but like, it's not that I could do nothing on here, but still, you know what I'm saying, maybe it can help somebody, but it's like this mentality is not us. It's not rare, you know what I'm saying? It's not uncommon. Maybe they won't take it to this extreme, but like I've seen it myself, you know what I'm saying? So
how does a person get like that, to that point, to that extreme? That's extreme, because I've seen a couple of black guys on YouTube, right? And I mean, they go hard on black people. It's almost like embarrassing, because I'm like, dude, you black yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you hate black people. And he's clearly hating himself, right? And how does it get to that extreme though? That's extreme. At this 17-year-old, that's extreme. How did it get to that point? What happened? Where did it all start? They never talk about that. They just say, okay, here it is. This is where he is. He's 17. This is it. Okay, how did it get here? It started when? How did it start? What happened in his life for it to start? You know what I'm saying? Because that's extreme. 17, that's extreme. When did it start? I'm sure he didn't wake up, at 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. That's not, that's something learned.
Yeah, but that's what the part where we probably have to talk about another time. We talked about before, but the sexual abuse of young boys in a lot of these homes, or like any kind of abuse, like whether they just get beat or something, where they have a strong disdain for their actual family. Like where if you be like, yo, what about your, and they'll be like, yo, F my family. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's why I keep thinking that his parents or adopted parents were white. Remember that 16-year-old that slapped that teacher? His adopted parents were white. Okay, this started somewhere, and it just like the 17-year-old, he was abused, in that family. And every time these white folk get our babies, this is what happened. They, they're going through PTSD and all this other stuff because they don't know how to treat our babies, because they adopted them out of pure hatred. So you adopt this child who's black, and you teach him how to hate himself, because maybe all they did was, abuse him, talk about his blackness, how, disgusting he was. It's very easy to brainwash a young child if you had them since they're 2 or newborn. You know what I'm saying? So something strange is still going on with this, because you still don't see his parents. Because I'm going to tell you what, they were black. Oh, they had the uncle, they had the mom and the daddy, they'd arrested everybody connected to him. But they didn't do this. This is very strange right here. So I guarantee you, I would be willing to risk that his parents were white. He was adopted. Something.
Yeah. Ross said their parents or whoever you're around tell lies and falsehood, told them lies and falsehoods.
Yeah, for a very long time. Extreme, and over the past 10 years, it has gotten worse. Yeah. Being dependent upon a white power. Yeah. Structure. And then he was into some other areas of white supremacy, right? And who knows, he probably didn't even have his real face up there, if he was mixing in with those groups. You know what I'm saying? He's listening to this every day and actually, joining in the conversation and not even showing his face, and them not even knowing that he's black, So that could have been also, so this is, and those were hardcore areas that he, those lives or whatever, those are hardcore white supremacy groups, that he was talking about. Aryan Nation, those guys don't do nothing but talk up and down on black people. So you sneaking in those groups, not even showing your face, and this is what you hear. How can you not be? That's the saddest thing, that you would actually subject yourself to that because you felt like nothing. How did he get there? Here we go again. Who raised him? How did he get there? You know. But I rest.
No, I mean, right, and it's like, and it's like, not to bring that up because it's supposed to be a joke, but like the black white supremacists, like, you know, like that they had on the sketch, but like this young brother, or you know, oh, he was black, you know, he was definitely mentally disturbed, you know.
Yes, mentally disturbed to another level.
Yeah. And this is what happens when
I think it was worse than worse than some of these coons. I mean, this is at another level. This is at a whole nother level.
It's another level, yeah. This is a whole nother level, yeah. And this is like, because he's not only mentally disturbed, but he actually went out there and tried to
acted on it. Yeah, man.
And like usually they'll act on it, but in a passive way. You know what I'm saying? But he would have had to kill himself. Like I'm saying, like that's how mentally disturbed it is. Because if him saying black people need to die, he would have had to kill himself, and he did. You know?
Goes all the way until just hours before the attack. And in those pages, they're filled with Nazi symbols, pictures of Solomon doing the white power salute, and graphic photos of mass killers after they carried out their attacks and turned the guns on themselves. And I know it's not easy hearing these things. Believe me, it's not easy saying them. But this is what we're dealing with. This kid was radicalized, and not just by white supremacists. He idolized mass killers.
Given how desperate you are for understanding and connection, I think most of us in our own nature would resort to something like an online community.
Lauren Ruth Martin is a licensed professional counselor over at Novel Counseling. I talked to her because I was trying to make sense of how someone who...
there's a young black boy in a mental... Let's go ask this white bitch.
Well, yeah. Why couldn't he ask somebody black? How does they don't know anything about black people? Nothing.
Is there no black male therapist out here?
Exactly. What world? Who does that? He almost a coon too, probably.
Who seemingly appears normal could go from active student to active shooter.
That A to B that you're asking about, I think there becomes a level of overwhelm, hopelessness, desperation, and lack of resources that then can push somebody to that angle.
You know, a lot of people asked, where were the parents? This kid had a very bad relationship with his family. There's a lot of mention of abusive behavior. Now, I haven't talked to the family or anything like that quite yet, but I can tell you Solomon said he considered killing them after we hear about his family. Solomon talked about how he wanted to carry out his attack at the cafeteria where he expected to see the most number of students, but he also made a note of saying on a certain day he could expect to see the most number of minority students. So while I don't think that Solomon specifically targeted Diana and another student, I do think that just based on the writings, he was thinking about minority students. Now, even if that was the case, this is someone who very clearly wanted to cause the most amount of damage as possible. Even said that he wanted to kill at least 10 people because that was more than another school shooter he read about online. This is something that Solomon thought about for months, but he also, toward the end, began to spiral. He wrote things like, I'm slipping. His grades were falling. There was a court date that he was worried about. And so one day he just writes, all right, tomorrow's the day. He didn't know if he was going to be able to end his life, but he knew that whatever he did not want to end up in jail. I think there are a lot of nuances in this case, but I also think that it's an important conversation to have. Solomon found community in the worst places. Maybe there's a way to reach out to these teens before it's too late.
Not humanizing him, but
Right. And there's only one way to do that, you know what I'm saying? That's physically to do that, you know what I'm saying? And that's to either to do the school stuff or to do like the mentor stuff, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you're a parent, you need to be going down to the school, even if it's like once a week or once every other week, to make your presence know, like, oh yeah, damn, it's a black man around this joint.
Right.
You know?
Right. And those kids, fathers can do that. They can come at any time, but they never do. Why?
Yeah, just drop them off and walk them to the class or something. You know what I'm saying? and just little stuff like that, you know. But the only way is to actually get a hold of the generation's mind, you know what I'm saying? And it'll take like 15, like from a generation from kindergarten to the time they graduate for you to take over a country, you know what I'm saying? If you control that mind, like you'll have a whole class of students ready to fight, and then generations after that ready to go, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's play a little bit of her.
Another school shooting. This is so sad to me. It is beyond sad, because the underlying issue that I'm finding, or the underlying problem with these young people that are so angry, frustrated, sad, is that they lack self-love, self-confidence, self-esteem. And we have got to figure out a way to change this. Our future of young people is at stake here, great people. Before I get into this video, and just hang on here, please watch it all the way to the end. There are other videos behind this, because this has been something that I've been studying since grad school. And abnormal behaviors is a specialty of mine, and we have to be able to get into the lives of young people, to the minds of young people, so we can help them. Okay, great people, I'm about to start crying. It just saddens me. It just saddens me so much. Full view, y'all can see this. So just follow along with me, because I'm going to be stopping it in between. We're going to be talking. And
all right, we're going to
Scott, when she fell. Metro Police revealed Henderson posted photos online from inside the restroom shortly before the attack. 188 pages in length, and the other around 50 pages, matching what police
emotion and his mindset, how he felt on the inside, because that's the overall problem here, great people.
Hey, what year are you here at Avion High?
I'm a student, 12th grader.
Okay, so where were you when the time that this happened?
I was in the cafeteria when all the shots started going off.
And what was going through your head when that happened?
I thought it's like people in the cafeteria, they do chip bags and make sounds with it to make it sound like a gun, but it was repeatedly going off. And I turned around, it was a lot of rush and azamia. Like, that made me want to just like do something crazy, like run.
When you looked at him, you didn't even think he would do something.
All right,
so I can keep it in my time limit so y'all can stay with me. So here we talk about, we hear what the students are saying. The first girl said, when you looked at him, you didn't even think he would do something like that. And that's how depression hides. Depression, you may be able to see it on people at times, but it can also hide like a smile. It can be tucked away under anxiousness, or what may appear to be jolly and excitement. But underneath, this student, this youth, this kid, this child is suffering horribly. Now, we're going to find out more about who this young man is, but this is a teen. 17 is not an adult. 18, right. 19, and then you get to 20. And still, research wants to even give a youthful brain to a 25 to 28-year-old. They're saying research suggests that even by 28, your brain still is not fully developed. And we know the brain is forever going to be changing and growing and changing because of how it's made. That's why it's going to forever be research done in certain areas. And we can't just pinpoint one thing to situations like these and mental health and problems, because it's going to be a mixture, a conglomerate of things that I mentioned in a previous video, biopsychosocial. Okay, so let's get into this article.
All right, so what you think about that, Cassidra?
Oh, man, you know what? It's just so sad on so many levels, you know, that he was in that much pain and nobody knew it. Why did nobody know it? He had family. Nobody knew it. At some point, somebody should have known something. You know, if you're paying attention to your child, you know. I could look at my daughter's face. You know, when she was little, both of them, I could look at their face and know if they had a good day or not. You could look at their faces, and the expression on their face will tell you if they had a great day. You know what I'm saying? And for nobody to know this kid was in this much pain, this is this is just disgusting on so many levels. Nobody cared. That's what it's saying to me. Nobody cared enough to find out, was he okay? Yes, I think, the people say that, oh, he's a senior, well, he was in high school. It doesn't matter. Your child still needs you, even in high school. Even today, my kids are grown. They still call. Hey, we conference call all the time. But, they never really, they never really grow up. They're always going to need their parents. Even, as an adult, you still, hey, call my mom. Hey, mom, still. So it's just so sad that nobody felt his pain. Nobody. If he was white, would they have felt it? Well, I'm not even gonna say that because they don't feel their kids, because they shoot up stuff. They shoot up schools all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So that's not even a comparison. It's just so sad though. But our kids, but have to understand where are our babies? Our babies are in the hands of white supremacy people that hate them, and it shows in these schools. And black folks still don't get it. Why do we allow them to be around our children unsupervised? So stuff happens to our children all the time that you don't even know about. They're getting harassed by these white teachers, and they've been so used to it. Sometimes they don't even come home and tell you. They just deal with it because that's all they know. It's been like that for so long. We don't, just like you go through on your job with these crackers, your children are unsupervised. And they're around unsupervised. They're around these people unsupervised, mentally ill people who's at another level of mental illness, who's traumatizing your babies, treating them like crap. And your child has gotten used to it and won't even report it. They don't even talk about it when they come home. They're just so used to it. That's sad. That's our failures. We failed our babies. Somebody failed him. Somebody failed him. I rest.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Let me see if there's any more.
And before we go any further, guys, if you're liking this content, the 7-year-old who shot himself dead after expressing violent hatred towards Jewish people and self-hatred as a Black person, which he blamed for him being an incel, a person unattractive to others. So what did I say? One of my symptoms of a person like this is self-hate. So if you have self-hate, you're going to have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, lack of self-awareness, all of these things, because he felt that he was a person unattractive to others on the inside. Okay, let's go to this article here.
I think a lot of Black people suffer with this unknowing.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even say nothing.
I'm so serious. I believe that we suffer with this and we've been dealing with it for so long. It bothers you, but you don't even know it bothers you because you've been dealing with it. It's like normal behavior now.
But that's why,
and we can tell how we treat each other. We can tell how our children are treating each other in high school. Because my granddaughter comes talk to me about it all the time. And I said, do you ever see fights with white kids and white kids? No. Do you ever see fights with Black kids and white kids? Very seldom. But you see more fights with Black kids on Black kids. That speaks volumes right there. That's a lot of self-hate right there. And why? Where did that come from? I mean, if we really honest, our kids are normal until you put them in their schools at 5. If you notice, when you put them in their schools at 5, they, everything is okay till 5, then it goes downhill from there. Then the teachers start traumatizing. Then the teachers start picking on them. Then especially if it's a boy. Oh, yeah, the boys go through hell. Because I've seen it. Growing up, we see, teacher picking on one boy out the whole class, and she'll every time. And we just didn't say anything because, and then he come in acting the fool because he was used to it, to make her fuss at him, which she was going to do it anyway. So he just beat her to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Haven't you seen that with different friends, in high school? When you're in high school, you remember that one kid that a teacher always picked on. You'd be like, dang, why she leave him alone? You know what I'm saying? But you see it, but it was so normal. What did we say? Nothing. He probably didn't even tell his parents because it was so normal. He didn't have anybody to fight for him because then the teacher going to come up and lie. And then he's been in trouble so many times because of some behaviors, because of how somebody treated him, because of what some teacher said to him, but then he's the troublemaker. But they're very good at doing that because they've been doing it for so long. Then they make it look like the student. and they still getting off every year of traumatizing a child every year in their class, and nobody reverts it back to the teacher and say, okay, let's look at this teacher. Every year somebody's talking about her. Every year she has a student that's acting like this in her class. It's got to be her, but nobody does that. Whose fault is that? That's our fault. We failed our children. We failed our children. Our rest.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. And the thing is, Cassidra, and this is why I even called it like Drapetomania, you know, because we become so accustomed to that to say so, like I think that like every time I try to take away or say, all right, look, this white savior or this good white people and all of that stuff, people will be like, no, like it's got to be, you know. Or if you be like, yo, like that's why I think a lot of people that come on like try to get on the live and try to come after you, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's because you have the mentality of to not only do something for yourself but to do something for the community. But if all else fails, like you said, you getting the hell up out of here.
Hey,
you know,
I keep telling people November. Yeah, I can have it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Right.
People don't understand it. They don't have to take the abuse. I've been too many places in this world to understand that when I leave here, I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
But we don't ever get out. And you could think free your mind, free. You don't have to be, we don't have to live like this. We don't. Because there's so many things out there. We can create our own businesses, and there's so many opportunities someplace else. But if you've never gone there, you don't know what kind of opportunities. There's so many businesses that you could actually start there. So many businesses, but we won't do it. We won't take the chance because we're comfortable with the abuse. We're comfortable with the racism. We're comfortable with the anger and the rage and the jealousy. We're comfortable being called names. We're comfortable, just really hanging on by a thread. We're comfortable with dealing with our mental illness that any minute, sometimes you feel like you want to snap. We're comfortable with that. I can't go anywhere. I don't know anything else. I don't know anybody else. It doesn't matter. There's businesses to be made. There's money to be made in other countries. There's things to do in other countries where you can create your own business. But if you don't go, you'll never find out. We are so comfortable just sitting right here. We have decided to just subject ourselves to whatever they do to us. But we're not leaving. And people tell you, I was born, I built this. You were forced to build this. You were snatched from your home and you were kidnapped and you were it's almost like, remember way back in the day, Patty somebody, it was, who remembers Patty Rob? I don't know, Rob may not remember, but Matron may remember Patty. What was the girl? She was kidnapped and then she was robbing banks with these people, right? Patty Hearst, I don't know, maybe Patty Hearst, I'm thinking. This was way back in the day, but I just remember reading about it. And she was kidnapped at one time and she was traumatized. And these people who kidnapped her began to rob banks. And she was Patty Hearst, that's who it is. And she began to rob banks with them. And they said when they caught her, they didn't give her the time that they gave the robbers because she was known as I guess she was suffering with you know how the kidnapper kidnap you and you fall in love with them or something.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, that's what she was suffering with. So they didn't even give her as much time, but they still gave her some time because But it was the saddest thing because they came and kidnapped her, and then she was turning around, robbing the banks with them fools. It was crazy, and I was like, "What in the world did she do it?" I couldn't figure that thing out for years. I was like, "What in the world? How do she ended up?" And that's what it sounds like with us in America. We have been traumatized so much that we actually literally suffer with Stockholm syndrome. We do. And we don't even know it because we've been suffering with it. We don't even know what Stockholm syndrome is. And maybe we need to look that up to help us understand what is Stockholm syndrome. What is PTSD? Because Dr. Joy DeGury, I think that's her name, she talks about that PTSD. She talks about that. What Black folk are suffering with even now. Because a lot of what we're suffering with now is because of years and years and years of trauma that we've gone through in this country. And we don't even relate it back. They don't relate it back to how they've been treating us. Because they'll sit back and look at this little boy and say, oh, they've done it, dehumanize him. No, just like she said, we're not humanizing him. Bitch, we are human. That's our babies. Yes, he's still a human. Just like your white thugs. Kyle Rittenhouse, who shot 3 and killed 2, you humanized him. You didn't ever dehumanize him. So you're not going to dehumanize my baby. You're not doing it. I don't give a damn what he did. He did that because of something your people did to him. So don't sit up there and try to dehumanize him because he was hanging around your folk. Because for real, that's who he was hanging around. So he got it from her people. Okay. So you didn't dehumanize your people. You're not going to dehumanize ours.
And I'll say this, because I agree with that, and I know that a lot of people have something to say about that, but it don't. And the problem is, though, like, although most people ain't as extreme as him, a lot of people do have that tendency of trying to fit into a white society at the expense of your blackness.
Yes. And a lot of times we do. These black men marrying these white women, they have given up their manhood. They the bitches. They the women in those relationships. They're not, that woman is not the woman. That woman telling him what to do, when to do it, and find it. And these are the NFL players with the money. They're so proud to have a white woman, a piece of trash on their arms, that they literally allow her to take their manhood away and be talking and treating them any kind of way. Remember the one guy, he was a football player, I think. He was a big dude. And he was going with this white girl and asked her to marry him. And people was telling him about her pages. She was still probably a white supremacy still, because she was talking about how she didn't like black men and blah, blah, blah. I mean, really, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. But now all of a sudden she's with one. He just engaged to her, asked her to marry. And people showing him her page and he didn't care. He said that was then. Oh, no, that's now. You just been hoodwinked. Because she gonna get you, get married, probably have one of your little half-breed babies, and then leave you, take the money. You know what I'm saying? Got all kind of plans. Don't mean you like her. That doesn't mean she was in loving him. That means she was just seeing them dollars. That's what that was. And he was dumb enough to marry her. That's the craziest part. People's trying to show him her pages, and he didn't even want to see it. I said, that's mental illness right there. He was just glad to get anybody.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now she brought up some points, but she said she started going a little bit left. So she was talking about black boys and white cultures. But, I'm going to play a little bit of this dude's speech, and I want you to see how it developed from a young age. This is a TED talk from a young black dude getting criticized because he was cooning it up in school, and other young black people let him know.
Rejection. You remember the last
time? That's a random
you
video
felt
I found too.
Rejected? Was it a guy that never returned a phone call, or a father that never came around? Was it a boss who overlooked you for a promotion to try to impress them? We all know rejection hurts. It stings and doubt our future. I submit to you that rejection isn't something we should be afraid of. And it sure isn't something that should make us get discouraged, depressed, or work unhealthy amounts of hours just to prove rejection is our friend. Catalyst to our success, employs undesirable feelings, or we'll move forward in life with confidence. They called me goon, which meant that I was one or two to be respected. And thankfully I was. I was in an advanced learning class, which meant that I was one of 2 black students in an all-white class. And this wasn't a bad thing. I was known as the cool big black kid. Oh. They called me goon.
Oh, how affectionate, goon.
Oh, wow.
The big black kid.
I was one of the smartest kids in the class. People cheated off my tests. They laughed at my jokes. Life was great. Until
laughed at or with. That's what I'm saying.
One day, as I was returning back to class from a bathroom break, I noticed a group of black students circled together, laughing hysterically. Me being the confident, charismatic, outgoing guy that I was, I decided I was going to go over to them and get in on the jokes. So I walked over to these students and I said, "Hey, y'all, what's so funny?" No one answered. I spoke up. "Man, what y'all over there laughing about?" And just as I was finishing my sentence, one of the guys in the group turned towards me and said, "You're what's funny, white boy." The crowd erupted in laughter, and I, feeling embarrassed, ashamed, and rejected, returned to my class to soon learn that I was known in our school as the black kid that talks and acts white.
The coon boy.
The coon, yep.
If you want a degree in cyber, oh man, so he went back to his white. So anyway, long story short, now he gives lectures in front of white people about
how he was cooning and black kids didn't like him, and
he had to overcome rejection about being called out. And shouts out to those young students who called him out. But at the same time, this is how sometimes they will bring it like, oh yeah, well, black people teased me and black people did this. They'll excuse everybody else laughing at them and calling them goon or whatever the hell they was calling them. That's cool. That wasn't rejection, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is like
calling him out for his fakeness, his sellout.
And but his parents had him in this class where he's the only black student. He still till that day didn't recognize that them little white kids was being like what you would call racist towards him,
And see that there we go again. They be acting like that, but you've been treated like that for so long, you don't even look at it. You don't even take it serious. You don't even think about it. You don't even think it's racism. You just been like, okay, that's just how they are. You don't even think about it because you've been treated like that for so long. You begin to accept their dysfunctional behavior toward you.
Yeah. And I will play this, but it's like music in it, so I'm not playing that.
No, you're not. You being got dinged for that one.
All right,
that's so sad.
There's this kind of paradox of experience for me that personally, Landon remained a place that was comfortable and familiar, and it embraced me both as a student and as a teacher. But I am also aware of the fact that culturally, it was not always a hospitable place for Black boys, particularly Black boys that didn't present the way that I did.
Particularly.
What has that taught me about being a Black man in the United States? Because I think that's the original question.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
It's taught me
not a goddamn thing.
On the survival side, it's taught me I'm comfortable with white people.
What?
I'm not afraid of
Wait, I gotta call.
What? He specifically said I'm not afraid of white women. What? Why would you even say that?
Because he married the one, guarantee you. Guarantee you. Yep, he's not scared of white people. He don't care. He's used to the behavior. He's used to what they do. He's used to it. That's sad. Go ahead.
So he ain't learned the damn thing. It sounds like
nothing.
It's taught me I'm comfortable with white people.
Oh man,
I'm not afraid of white men. I'm not afraid of white women.
Wow.
I'm certainly not afraid of their. I'm not afraid of wealthy people, wealthy white people. I'm certainly not afraid of, white people who, seem to be like impressive or.
Now, the next thing he said, you know who I am afraid of?
Oh God, I'm just waiting on it. I'm waiting on it.
Jeez, I didn't even watch this one. Damn, I should have watched this.
I think I'm impressive and intelligent, and I have been prepared, I think, for the world better than quite a few white people in the United States. So I'm not intimidated in that way. But what I will say is that, having been raised around wealthy white people, that if you are not raised around wealthy white people, you don't necessarily understand all of the rules, both written and unwritten, all of the expectations, if you aren't necessarily able to.
Oh, he get exception because he was around some wealthy white people.
He knows the hidden language. That's what that is. Wow.
He's an exception.
Yeah, he's special.
So they pull him off. I know. Listen, you know who my dad is? I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he knows the coon language, the language that
Okay.
Oh wow, wow. He's not afraid of his.
See them as familiar and make them see you as familiar. The white world can be an amazingly predatory place, particularly.
Really? No kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what you know.
He found that out though, huh? It could be predatory. And that's exactly, these people are not, and they can fake for years. They can fake to like you they can marry you. They can marry you and they can be with you, for 20 years, 25 years. Look at Dre and his wife. That woman was there for how long? Tyler, who was that? Tiger Woods, his wife, she was there, had them babies. He messed up and she was gone with all the mirrors, honey. She was just waiting on him. She was like, I got these babies. I'm going to be forever taken care of. It's just so sad though, that we really just don't get it. He said he's not afraid of white women. White women and white women and white men are the most dangerous to Black people. And we don't understand that. That's how can we call them friends? That's the mental illness part of it, that these people hurt you all the time. And you see it on the news. We see it. There's nothing here. You see how the police officers treat you. You know how, you see it all the time, so-and-so was shot 15 times by the police, and we still, and you had a black guy talking about, I love me some police, and guess who killed him? The police. The very people that you say you loved killed you. Okay? The black Nigerian who was married to the OnlyFans, he loved him some white women. Loved them, okay, and hated himself, and talked about black women like dogs. Guess who killed him? See what I'm saying? But you're not afraid of those people. You should be. You should be. You've seen enough of them. You've seen enough of death by their hands to your people, and you're still not afraid? Not afraid, but I mean afraid to be around them. I don't even want to be around. Not that I'm scared, but I just have enough. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be in a room full of white people. I don't. Things happen to black folk like that. I don't want to be around them. I don't. I don't want to have to use Lucy. See what I'm saying? So no.
Yeah.
That's no.
Man, no. The thing is, I don't know how much we can really go in on it, right? But I want to show you something else too, Cassidra. So it say this is racism in real time, war rages in DR Congo for minerals, Goma, DR Congo for minerals. For the tech industry, the world remains silent. But if this was Ukraine, Palestine, or LA.
Exactly. This is how racist this world is. But my thing is, we as black people, if we could stick amongst each other, and if we had been separated from these demons and devils, do you think we would be in the predicament that we're in right here and right now? Do you think Ghana would be in the predicament it was in if it had never let white people in? Do you think that South Africa would look the way it looks now if they had never let the white folk in? Do you think our schools would be looking the way they look today, and our children acting the way they act today if we had never mixed and mingled with them? Do you think that we would look the same way we do today if we had not left our homes, left our areas, left our land, left our schools, left everything that your ancestors left for us? Do you think we would be looking the way we look today? I don't think so. I don't. You have one black, it's a black country in Africa. These people was around white people one time. And now they won't even come around them. And what happened was they went on their island. They went on the island, they stole the man and the woman and the child, right? The man and the woman, or the child and the woman, died or something like that. They got sick because they had never been around any diseases, no white people, never, right? And this man, they got sick and they died, right? So now this place won't let any white people come near their island. None. And they've never developed anything, but still they are the same way they've been. They're all living, they're healthy, no diseases, you know what I'm saying? So would things be the same for us, the way we look at us now, the way you look at us now? Would it be the same if we hadn't have come in contact or had not have came to be with them? If we had stayed separate, I think things would have been so different. We would have always been with our own. We would have known, because in the 70s, we treated each other great. We loved each other. We was black power. We was black and I'm proud. Remember? You know what I'm saying? We was glad to be black. But now, what people tell you, I ain't African. Dummy, your DNA is from Africa. What the hell are you talking about? That's what I tell them. Your DNA is from Africa. What are you talking about? You're not African. That's where your ancestors came from. So what are you talking about? It bothers me when I hear black people say, I'm not African. Oh, DNA don't lie. And DNA don't ever change, right? So I rest my mic.
Yeah, let me play it. Let me. All right, so let me take the music on. So you see that. So and they saying it's saying here is no electricity, water, or access to food, the embassy on fire, the prison on fire, prisoners escape, and it's all for minerals for tech companies, for smartphones and smart cars. You know,
you see Congo in the civil war right now. Right now.
Yeah, this is it, right?
Civil war right now. And nobody ever says anything. Black people don't even say anything. But you had the nerves to tell me that you cared about Gaza and Palestine. Don't come to me with that. You got me twisted. But they'll say, what you think about it? I don't think nothing about it. I don't give a damn if the whole Israel blow up and take Gaza with it. Palestine, Gaza, all of it can blow away for all I care.
Right.
Now, if you're going to come and talk about the Congo, that's different. But we never talk about our own. Never. Because we don't think that we don't see them as our own. Because white folk has made us we've gotten to the point where we don't trust us. We don't think that we have no love for us. They've taught you that. We used to love each other. What happened? Men and women used to love each other. What happened? They sowed that seed and moved their hands, threw the rock and moved their hands. How does all this stuff start? Does anybody think about when you see black men and black women against each other? Have we ever thought about how did that start? Where did that start? Who started that? Just like Malcolm says, who told you your hair was nappy? Who told you your hair was kinky? Who told you your nose was wide? Where did it start? Where we as black men and women hate each other now. This is horrible. Black men don't even want to marry, won't even want to date black women. But you'll go over there to your enemy and marry her. Get on one knee and ask her to me, and she could be 500 pounds. But Precious couldn't even find a husband. She had to go get a white man. Yeah. But you got this black man married to this big old horse. Look like a hippo. Look like the elephant. And just proud, just grinning? How? But you couldn't grin with Precious. You understand what I'm saying? That's crazy. I rest.
Yeah. Yeah, these are just more videos and stuff like that.
Wanatoka mu aeroporo wote ndio wale wanajividula.
All right, let me see. All right, so
hapa tunapatikana ndani ya mji wa Goma. Na tangu jana usiku mapambano ni
This is so sad.
Yeah. All right, so you see like the whole country is like on fire.
En direct l'ambassade de France. L'ambassade de France est Ziki.
So yeah, you see that, Cassidra.
Mm-hmm. Is that something?
Yeah. Listen, and the only way out of this stuff is to understand who you are, understand who your enemy is, and to build the things that you need to build to protect you, yourself, and your communities, and stop letting outsiders in, right? Don't be like the dude. Learn to let go of that compassion that you think that you're supposed to have for everybody, and turn that compassion inward for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop with the self-hatred, right? Who taught me to hate myself, right? Mm-hmm. Who taught me this? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you should be asking yourself, you know, because all of this stuff was created before we was even born, you know, and it's up to us to change the society. And listen, like, the more comfortable we get in it, the more that we're going to see the same cycles repeat over and over and over. And the only way to break out of it is if we just either decide enough is enough, or they kick us out of here. You know what I'm saying? So one way or another. Let me play this.
World. My name is Ify. If I don't explain it to you, you can join.
Nigeria has joined hands with BRICS.
Good.
India, China, South Africa, hence the acronym BRICS. But here's the thing, BRICS has been expanding. Back in 2024, countries like Egypt, Iran joined. Now Nigeria has followed suit early 2025. The goal of BRICS is actually to challenge Western economic dominance by really strengthening trade and financial ties between some major nations. But the big question is, why did Nigeria decide to join? There are a few reasons why this move makes sense. The first would be economic opportunities. Now with BRICS, the BRICS nations itself, they control a huge chunk of the world's trade and over 40% of the global population. So that makes sense. And then by joining, Nigeria can tap into new markets, better trade deals, and even bigger investments. That could boost the Nigerian economy. And then there's reducing dependence on the US dollar. And I don't think the US is happy about this. One of BRICS' long-term goals is to create an alternative to the US dollar, and the US is not having it. If it is successful, this can make international trade cheaper and more accessible for Nigeria. And then there is the upside of infrastructure and development. Countries like China, Russia, they've been investing heavily in BRICS nations. And so Nigeria could potentially get better funding for roads, railways, and energy projects. And I know that that sounds great, but is it really that simple? Are there risks? And what are these risks? Because not everyone thinks this is a good move. And I'm going to be breaking down a few reasons why. Then there's the geopolitical tensions. You know, BRICS includes countries like Russia, China, which have complicated relationships with the West. And then there's the place of economic dependence. Some worry that Nigeria could become too dependent on China and Russia, just like how some African nations have struggled with Chinese debt. Just the other day, I was talking about how China is partnering with Nigeria for local arms and weapons production. Now, there's the unknown factor there. BRICS is still evolving. A lot of things are not clear as to how.
So, Cassidra, what you think about that?
For them to join BRICS, that's much needed.
Yeah.
I think all of the African continents need to join BRICS.
Yeah. Well, what you think about the part when she was like, some people have concerns that they're giving too much power to like places like Russia and China? Like,
well, you know what? I believe that if you have to learn it from somewhere, right? And I'm not saying learn it and stay, learn it and go. Learn it and, you know, because you can get colonized again. But if you're around, if this is a group, just like, you know, just like you have NATO, right? Just like you have NATO, I believe that Burkina Faso is doing an even better job because he, you know, paid off their debt. I believe that African countries need to learn that they can do for themselves with each other, and they don't need the white countries to help them out. I do believe that. But Burkina Faso, I think, knows that, and he's learned that, and he's doing that. So I think they need to follow suit with him more so than the Russians. But my thing is, in order for America to kind of back off, maybe that's why they're using the Russian and China, because America, you know, they don't like America. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what they're doing. But I do believe that eventually they need to break away and do for self. All right.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you. What's going on, my brother Anthony?
What's going on, Mufasa over there? You got your little Mufasa shirt on, huh?
Hey, what's going on, forecast? How you doing, Cassandra? Yeah. Yeah, I'm still laughing at Cassandra call a woman a hippo.
Hey, I'm just saying, forecast in here what I showed you, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Hey, I just pulled this up because I was like sitting over here like, what the world?
He need to see that. Let him see that. Like, I mean, you know, come on, you guys. Come on, forecast. I'm just saying, come on, you guys.
That's a shame,
date that, but you won't date Precious. What's wrong with Precious?
That's a shame, man.
Okay,
that's disgusting.
I'm just saying.
That's disgusting.
We gotta do better. I'm just saying.
I was in answering to the prompt about Nigeria joining BRICS. it's a funny thing, man, about like Nigeria, because Nigeria is one of them funny states. Let's be 100% real. Nigeria is coon central. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's coon central. I mean, we got great brothers and sisters over there, but I'm talking about the leadership. Like Tinubu, man, Tinubu, he ain't really a dependable brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a dependable brother, man. I don't think that he has the interests of his people at heart. He got the interests of his pocketbook. Because let's face it, the dude, he been in the back pocket of the West for a long time, man. But when you dealing with these folks, it's like you said, you got to just cut these people loose and don't fuck with them. Because see, when you're dealing with them, you're gonna compromise your integrity. Now he is, Nigeria is potentially, along with the Congo, a powerhouse in Africa, man, and a powerhouse in the world with all of the mineral wealth and natural resources and the brain power of the people that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's some brilliant brothers and sisters that came out of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And but I think it has to be the right leadership. We need the right leadership. And when it comes to us, man, and dealing with these people, man, dealing with the West and dealing with them other people too. Like you said, like Brother Traore, it's my hope, my prayers that he get what you can get from these other motherfuckers. He playing chess. He playing chess. Because everybody else play chess. Okay, I can play this one powerful crack off against this other one. You know what I'm saying? I can get some things that I can get from over here. I don't have no problem with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he comes from basically when it comes to the West, he's a small guy. You know what I'm saying? As far as his country, his military power.
Right.
So we gotta build up our shit. We just became independent 60 years ago.
Exactly.
So we gotta build up our stuff. But I'm just saying, but get what you can get and get the technology, everything that you need. But then say, hey, look here, okay, I thank you. We appreciate that, man.
Exactly.
We appreciate
you
that.
But build yourself up. And that's what happened to what's the man named Gaddafi, because he was trying to do it by himself. When you try to do it by yourself, that's when you die. This man they tried to kill him 19 times, right? Already.
Yeah.
So that's why we know that he's covered. But my thing is, you got to get the training, get the understanding, get the power that you need, and then you can fend for yourself. But I understand why you're doing it. I understand why Africa's doing it, but don't stay. Don't let them stay.
Yeah, man. And I believe
have the problem.
Yeah, and I believe he's the kind of guy, because that's a strong man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, he's not like the norm. He's not the norm.
Yeah, you can look at him and tell, like you said, he covered with something. You can look at it and tell, like, he not going for no bullshit.
Oh no.
No, he didn't come to play.
That's right.
But and we need more like him. We need more like him in Africa and throughout the black world. I wish we had some of us over here like that.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I rest my mic right there, though.
Nah, definitely. I feel you. You want to say something about it on the Congo too? I see you said something in the chat.
Oh yeah. Man, there's some brothers, man, and sisters who I've been dealing with, man, like on IG and Facebook, who have organizations, man, and I've been going back and forth with them, trying to learn what their platform's about, man. And and I'm signing on to it, man. Like we trying to create some traction, man, to bring it to the forefront. You know what I'm saying, about the bullshit that's going on in the Congo. The Congo again is another country that got the leadership is kind of shaky. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a Traore, they got a weak leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They got a weak guy because he halfway between this is my country and I got to do something. And then on the other hand, I want to put some money in my pocket too. And I'm in bed with these other people. But the bullshit in the Congo is terrible, man. It's just like it's all over again, man. What y'all was just talking about, the self-hate. Considering when you were saying I ain't no African. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? People in Congo and Rwanda over that part of the world, they looking at each other. Not the people, but I'm saying the governments. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So self-hate. Now you got Paul Kagame, who ain't nothing but a Western stooge. He's a puppet. You know what I'm saying? doing all of that, everything he's doing to destabilize the Congo and helping the West to get rich off of the coltan and everything. You know what I'm saying? He got to be full of self-hate himself. Because you know, he coming from that civil war where his people, Tutsi people, got killed. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Tutsi people who live in Congo, you know, who helped him win his war. And so now, you know, he's like, well, you know, these are my people right here. Man, you got to look at it. All these black people, your people, man. No, all of us. I mean, it's confusing to me. I mean, how can you lay there and fund some rebels or fund a war that killed 7 million black people?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And destabilizing black people and got people homeless and, you know, and living in dire situations, man, and be a black man. You know what I'm saying? To fulfill the pocketbooks of some white folks. You know what I'm saying? You got to be full of self-hate yourself. You know, and I just think that's pitiful, man. I mean, here we go. I mean, the relationship could be way different. They could be working together. But instead, no, I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to go over here and steal from my brother. You know what I'm saying? And with the help of this white man, to help the white man get rich, when me and my brother, Congo remote, we could be getting rich together. No, we could be building ourselves up together and making a strong Africa. But, you know, yeah, that's what I think about it, man. It's just some foolishness, man.
Yeah, hey, and let me say this. Shouts out to Bawana who was in the chat. He was like, "What's my yo, Cassidra, do you have a PayPal?"
I do have a PayPal.
Okay, yeah, put it in there. Yeah, you give it to Cassidra so she can use it for her organization. So, Cassidra, you could put your PayPal in there, and you know, that she is Cassidra is putting in that work. Y'all definitely need to support her and everything she's doing as far as like Realm in the Bush and her creating. And we need to talk about this because you want to like kind of like quickly say what you do like with Realm in the Bush too, by the way.
Oh yeah, we are partnered. We got finally unemployment. We are mixed in with unemployment now. So not only do the inmates come to me, but I can also send them to the unemployment office, and they have it's a trucking company, and we're doing HVAC, we're doing plumbing. We're sending them over to another school, and they're getting training for 10 months. And they're getting certified, and also they can work with their own business, or they can take that certificate and continue working under the person that's training them. So this is and the reason I did it was because a lot of inmates was coming out of prison and couldn't find jobs, and they were working while they were in prison at McDonald's. You'd be surprised who's flipping your hamburgers at McDonald's, Victoria's Secrets. You'd be surprised who's making your coffee at Starbucks. You'd be surprised who's at Wendy's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. These are people that are serving time, right? They allow them to make a nickel a day, okay? But then when they come out of prison, they couldn't find jobs. Why? I already worked for McDonald's in jail, so why I couldn't continue doing the same thing out of jail? Okay, so then also as far as housing, and that was what we're still looking for, housing, just wanting to do the housing, then that way they can rent out the rooms, because they can't find housing. So what's the deal? I can't get housing. I can't get a job. What are you setting me up for? You're setting me up for what? To go to jail, to go back to prison. So that's why we created Realm in the Bush. So, I mean, before I was doing it, I couldn't get, the unemployment office. They wouldn't call. They would just not act right. So that crew got fired, thrown out. A new contract was just a really good friend of mine that I worked with. And she went over there, got a job. So her and I have partnered up, and now they're getting jobs. That's what I like about it. And also seniors, if you're, a senior in high school, you don't want to go to school, you want to just, do maybe the 10-month or 12-month program, you can do that. Join Realm in the Bush. We can set you up as far as CDL, as far as your HVAC. I think that's, and we're training youngsters how to get their own businesses. We don't want our children to work under anybody, because that's the problem. They're going to these white colleges, coming out, and then they're getting into these white fields, like working in a white hospital, becoming a doctor. But then you went through hell in schools with the doctors trying to get trained. Now you've come out. Now you're into the hospital, in a white hospital. So you're still going through hell. So not only are you traumatizing your life, your future, you're putting yourself through trauma. You're traumatizing yourself for how long? Why do we do that? I have a black dentist, and I asked him, I said, why are we not seeing more black dentists, and he said they're going to these white institutions to make money. I said, so you're selling your soul for money instead of you coming, getting into your community, because guess what? We're looking for Black doctors. We look for Black dentists. We look for Black nurses, right? Instead of you coming into your own, getting out of school, coming back to your community, you're not doing that. You're going over there, going through all kind of hell for money, when it's so much easier just to get back into your own, get into your own lane, get into, your creating, get into entrepreneurship in your community. Because after all, we do need, dentists and doctors in our own areas. We need our birthing centers. We need wellness centers. We need hospitals and clinics in our area, right? So why aren't our doctors creating that? Why aren't the nurses coming together with the doctors and creating that for our communities? So that's what Realm in the Bush was created for.
Right, yeah, definitely. And like I said, put your PayPal in there so he could donate, and anybody else, and you can see her Cash App. Anthony Ross said, how you say that? You're a kid Tanji. Your shirt. She said
her outfit. Oh, his shirt. That's from Pasta.
Yeah. I don't know if Anthony's still there.
Is that his kitten jean? Is that what does that mean? Kitten jean? Did you see her word?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, that's one of my auntie had got these shirts from him, man. The African inspired shirts that she had bought for
nice. I love it. That's my husband wears shirts like that. I call him Mufasa, the Lion King.
Yeah, she said, you know where she got it from? Or around, like, how she got it, or she just ordered it or something?
Yeah, she ordered it, man. I have to ask her, man. She ordered it though.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. And then Buwana said the same thing. And what's going on? Kofi in the building. She said, where in Louisiana did you buy it? Kofi said, depends on the state. They can't block social service for ex-cons. She said she meant dashiki. Okay.
Oh, yeah, dashiki, yeah.
Got you.
Okay. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, my brother Anthony, you want to say anything else though, my brother?
Yeah. Hey man, that's a great thing that Cassidra's doing, man. That because that kind of hit close to home with me. I have my youngest brother, man. When he was 19, he got caught up in some mess and and went to prison. He did like 8 years, man, on a manslaughter charge. But like with help, he had people outside. We had people that was helping him. Why helping him get trained and everything. And now he's a supervisor at an oil company. I mean, let me say, it's not an oil company. It's like the people who ship oil, contain oil things to other places, who ship the oil. Yeah, he's a supervisor, a floor supervisor at this job, man. Where he sent out orders for people, like get orders, for oil and stuff like that. And got a nice home. He's married and doing good, man. He didn't give up and he had people working for him. So that's a great thing, man, to know that somebody's out there. You got a support system out there, and especially a Black support system, us helping us. So I think that's a great thing that you're doing, Cassidra. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Consider, I'll put your your
I'm looking it up now because I hardly ever use it.
Hold on, if I could put mine in there and then I could send it to you. If not, mine is in the description, and I got Cassidra Cash App in the description, and it's right there on the thing. So
but it's about us just doing what we need to do. Everybody has their gifts, and we just have to change our mindset. And if you see where there's a need and that's your gift, do it. It doesn't take but maybe $25, $30 to start up your own business, especially if you're gonna do online. It doesn't take a lot. It's just get with the right contacts. But we're so busy working these 14 to 16-hour jobs. They don't even do 8 hours anymore. They do 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours now. I'm like, dang, what happened to the 8 hours? What happened to 8 hours? We're doing 9 and 10 and 12 hours at work now. They instead of increasing, taking you away from your children. But I think everybody needs to have at least 2 incomes, and like I'm gonna tell you again, if you guys are not like into this crypto, the Coinbase or crypto.com and then that XRP or XLM, you guys gonna miss out. I'm telling you, that coin was 53 cents, 52 cents at one time. That thing is it was up to 319. Now it has dropped down to like 340. You guys go and buy as much as you can. If you can do $100, do it. I'm serious, because I'm telling you, that's what they're going to use when they get rid of the dollar. And people say, oh, America will never get rid of the dollar. They will. They are. Trust and believe me. So if you guys are not into that crypto.com or Coinbase, and you guys don't have XRP or XLM, you guys gonna miss it.
Yeah, and I was gonna also say, and then because consider you got several businesses, and like when you're ready to talk about them too, like because I know I need to ask you something too later about if you find out more information about what we was talking about.
Oh, wait. Okay, text it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
when you see a service, you need to do it. Right. Seriously. And if you're not operating your gifts, I don't know what you're gonna do. What happens when AI comes in here and you whatever you're doing and it goes out? What are you gonna do? I remember what we talked about. My girlfriend just went to class for that Tuesday. Yeah. So she's gonna ship me the stuff. So yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So you want to say anything to wrap up what we was talking about tonight, like this Drapetomania, and the mental illness in our communities,
Oh, you're talking to me or Anthony?
You, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I want us to get to the point where we are really being serious, and we really don't let these crackers sit up here and make you believe that you less than, because they if you're not careful, they'll have you believing that you're nothing. I have to have a lot of African friends, some from Somali, and I'm telling you, the way they think is so sad. They're thinking, oh, black is bad and white is good, and I'm like, man, it just makes me so mad, because they don't have they're not teaching their own people in a black country Black history. That's the saddest thing. I meet people every day, from the Congo, from Somali, from DR, and I talk to them and I say, are they teaching Black history in your country? They go, no. I'm like, why? And they learn everything else but Black history. And that is the saddest thing, because they really do think that we have that disease. They want to put everything on Black people to keep us down. But we have to begin to get to the point where we're like reversing some of the psychology that they're using on us. Just like right now, we know the dynamics between the Black man and the Black woman. Okay, we know the dynamics. How are we going to fight it? How are we going to counteract it? How are we going to turn that thing around? Let's not just know that they're doing that and not do anything about it. For me, when I'm out and about, I see Black folk. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? I'm speaking. I see an African. I know what they say about Black Africans and African Americans. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm speaking. I'm showing love, because I want them to know that I'm not one of them African Americans, quote, per se, that hate them. And that's the thing that they have out there, that Americans and Africans can't get along. Well, why not? That's not true. That's not true. I've been to Africa, and I met a lot of people. I meet people every day from Africa. So we have to begin to kind of turn some of this stuff around, that they say, oh, Black man and Black woman don't, we can't stand each other. Well, okay, how are we going to fix that? Let's not just see that that's what it is and walk in it and just operate in it. We have to get to the point where we are seeing whatever they're saying that we're doing, and we counteracting it. Just like now, we have to begin to teach our children entrepreneurship. There's our children we need to be flying planes, right? But they, even in that business, they have that thing so expensive to where it's $100,000 for us to even learn how to fly. More than that, that's a start. Okay. So these are jobs that Black folk and entrepreneur businesses that we can get into, that we can do. Okay. Flying, doctors, we need to create our own schools, even as far as high schools, on homeschooling. Didn't Trump say he was going to give you $10,000 to homeschool your children? Okay, why didn't we flock to get that money? Because we need to take our children out of the schools. You see what's happening in the schools. We see what's going on with our children in their schools. What are we going to do about it? What are you willing to do about it? Because, you know, they're not going to let us, because I tried to bring the men into school. They told me, no, I couldn't do it. Well, why? Because we already have a program. Well, I see what kind of program you got, and it sucks. You're doing it on purpose, and they know what they're doing. They weren't going to dare let me bring black men into school to talk to black boys. Are you serious? And mess up what we got going on up in here? Oh, no, we can't have that. I already knew they was going to say no, and I told her when we talked about it, I told her, I knew you were going to let me do it. Because then that's going to disrupt your program. That's going to disrupt what you got going on with our black boys. That's going to disrupt you sending them to prison. I already knew it. So by her saying no, I knew, okay, I'm going to say what I want to say to her. I want her to understand how I see. I know. I knew that you weren't going to allow it. You know, so we have to begin to, this is on us, okay? This is us. We have to begin to counteract some stuff and think different, okay? So when they want you to think a certain way, you think different on purpose. We can't just continue doing and walking in what they creating for us. We have to start creating our own paths. And that's not what we're doing. But it's going, I mean, with Trump in office, I'm glad he's there. Kudos to him. Not that I like him, but this is making black folk get off their behinds. This is making black folk come together. This is making black folk think twice. This is making black folk create their own. This is making black folk do what we need to do. And I hope he get 3 or 4 more years. Then y'all won't never go to sleep. Because that's what you need. You need somebody that's going to keep black folk on our toes. And that man going to keep you on your toes. Because I ain't like either party. I think both him and Biden need to share a nursing home. Okay, and Leon Musk, whatever his name is, who did the little Hitler salute. Yeah, he's mentally ill too. Okay, but didn't nobody say when he did that salute, did they? But he did. Black folk don't even mention when white folks slip up and they do stuff in your face. We never say anything. But if they had been Kanye West, oh, they'd have had all his money, wouldn't it? Oh, he's this, he's that, he's another, da. They wouldn't have never let that live, and they still ain't talking about it today. But we have to bring up stuff like that. When they do stuff like that, why didn't black folk bring that up? Because white folk didn't bring it up? We got to bring something up when they bring it up? Did nobody see the salute, did they? They act like they didn't, but they did. They seen it. They were just hoping y'all didn't say nothing, and we didn't. Why? Because we don't say nothing unless white folks say something. We don't bring nothing up unless white folk, even including when it's up to for your own people. That you will talk about your own with them, but they never talk about what they do they? And we don't either. We got to stop. I'm going to rest my mic with that.
No, yeah, I agree with that. And shouts out to Bawana who just sent it. I'm about to try to send it to you now, Cassidra. And I appreciate you for coming on here and your time. Yo, Anthony, I meant to ask you too. Did you want to say something about Drapetomania and the stuff we were talking about earlier?
Thank you, Bawana. Forecast. Thank you for allowing me to come on. I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate the time. I just want us to wake up. That's all it's about for me. Just wake up. Let's do what we got to do. That's all it's about. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything that you just said, Cassandra. I'm like, I just think that for me, I think that we as black people, man, whether here in America or everywhere else, wherever we are, I think we need to start valuing each other. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We need to value each other. You know, I need to look at a black woman and say, you know, you great, sister. You great, sister. You know, and vice versa. You know, sister tell a black man he's great. You know, we need to tell each other that we're great and lift each other up. We need to value each other. We need to take care of each other, man. I think we need to support each other on every level. You know, whether it's whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? We need to and like you said. Like when you went to that institute, to that place, and they were saying, no, they weren't gonna let you do what you wanted to do with the brothers. Mm-hmm. I'd have said, hey, you know what? Well, guess what? Okay, we ain't gotta. Hey, that door closed, another door open. We got churches, we got all our stuff in the black community, things that we have. You know, where you go to the Prince Hall. Like I got a Prince Hall Mason Hall right up the street from me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll get some brothers and go and rent that out. You know what I'm saying? They rent it out, and we'll go and teach right there. We'll teach in church, or we'll teach wherever. We'll go to the park and have a picnic with our young brothers and sit down and have them a little something to eat, whatever, and teach them right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Teach them those skills, what we need to teach them. I mean, we could do it. No, we just gonna do it the grassroots way. We ain't going in the front door. We went in the back door. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I mean, you know, we could do it that way, and we got to do that everywhere, man. You know, we ain't gotta look like what we just got to have what they have over there. Now, you know what? We're gonna build ours from the ground up because we want to build something that's gonna last. They shit gonna fall down because you know everything they got from robbing, stealing, raping, and killing. You know what I'm saying? And that shit finna change. Like you say, they money finna go. You know what I'm saying? I be checking out that the other currency things. You know, that dollar gonna go out the wire.
Yeah.
No, that dollar not as strong as it used to be. So that shit gonna fall. What I'm just saying, but what we gotta do, we gotta be when it fall, we gotta be preparing to keep to get out to have ourselves in the right position. You know what I'm saying? Globally, not just here, I'm doing everywhere. And we need to work with each other. I'm gonna knock off right here, but I wanted to mention it's a sister also. I forgot to send that to forecast that she got an app where they try. It's the site is Pan African Lifestyles. It's Pan African Lifestyles. It's on. They on Facebook and IG. They are fixing to create an app where Black people here in America in the diaspora can connect with Black people on the ground and on the continent.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're trying to create an app like that so we could communicate directly with each other, in business and whatever we need to do. Yeah, it goes to the site of Pan African Lifestyle to look it up, man. If I try to find it tonight and send it to forecast, but yeah, they're trying to create that app too, so we can work together and get past all of the bullshit of Africans don't like African Americans, vice versa. Which is some nonsense, which is which come from the white folks to keep us from getting together. And I'll knock off right there.
Definitely. And did you get it, Cassidra?
I did. Thank you.
Cool. I just want to make sure it was right. But shouts out to Buwana for that. I appreciate you, my brother. And Anthony Buwana said send him one of them shirts. And Cassidra said, time to invest. So my last words is just gonna be, I'm gonna show this again for my last words. Let me find it. Not that. All right. So the blacknile.com that Anthony sent me earlier.
Got it. Yes.
So y'all can definitely check her out.
I think I black girled a little bit too close to the sun. I created an app. I saw somebody in the comments saying that they're looking for like a black Amazon. Sister, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. This ain't Amazon. It's the Nile. I can show y'all better than I can tell you. Come on. On this app, there are over 3,000 Black-owned brands listed in almost every single category you can think of. And I mean every category. Skincare, hair care, nail care, feminine care, hotels and villas, hairstylists, restaurants, grocery stores, luxury wear, handbags, wedding, home and kitchen, babies and kids, swimwear, lingerie, plus-size clothing. Y'all, the list goes on. We are 40 and counting. But since we were on the topic of grocery stores and convenience stores, let me show y'all what that section looks like. So under services nearby you, click on grocery stores. It will direct you to a page where you see all the Black-owned grocery stores in the United States of America. At the moment, we have 26 Black-owned grocery stores. On here, you have the option to filter by state and by the type of grocery store that you're looking for. You don't even have to put the address in. Most of these stores actually have online stores, so you do not have to visit in person. They will ship the products to you. Our shoppers and clients can actually rate their experience on this app as well. We want to ensure professionalism, customer satisfaction, and to give constructive feedback to these services. You can also add it as an app on your phone. I think I black girled a little bit too.
All right, so shouts out to this company, Black Now. Make sure y'all invest in, or not invest, but invest in that or subscribe to her, blacknow.co.
I'm on her. It's amazing. I'm on there now, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. You guys need to check her out.
Yeah, I got the app too.
Yes, you guys need to check her out.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So shouts out to Buwana, Raw in the building, Kofi, Matron was in the building. Appreciate Matron. Jermaine was in the building. Shouts out to Anthony for coming through. I appreciate you, and definitely shouts out to Cassidra. I appreciate your time and you coming on here. And shouts out to everybody who listening and who will listen. So
I appreciate the invite. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah. Yeah, and y'all subscribe to all of that stuff and download those apps and all that, you know. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.
Peace out, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.